So I think you might have realized that these days all of the AI models that we have all seem to do pretty much the same thing. You can give them a prompt, they go do the work and come back to you with a result. So given this, most developers just pick one model and one tool and just use it for everything because they all seem to be the same. So where's the point in trying to use different ones? But here's the massive problem with this that no one tells you. Putting all your work behind one model locks you into their pricing and their features. So if one day they choose to jack up their pricing, there's nothing you can do. Of course, you can always switch, but if you do choose to switch, your workflow needs to change as well, and you need to bring all your work to this new model that you're going to switch to. And in addition to this, different models actually do work better for different tasks. So if you're just using one, you're leaving out a lot of potential output on the table. So that is why I went looking for a way to fix this, to allow me to build an AI system for myself that allows me to easily manage and change which models I use rather than being locked into just one. So in this video, I'm going to share to you how you can orchestrate your AI stack using a tool called Mindshub to easily switch between models whenever you like without changing your workflow at all, and to actually allow you to control the AI that you use rather than being controlled by it. So the tool that I'm going to talk about here is called Mindshub Cowork. What's really cool about them is that they are an open source workspace that sits on top of every AI model. So rather than using something like Claude Cowork that only works based on Claude and being locked into using Claude models, locked into Claude's pricing, locked into all their features, you actually have this open source platform where underneath you can change the model whenever you want. And because it's open source, you actually own this tool rather than just renting it like you're doing it most of the other competitors. You can also connect your different tools to it. So let's say you want to use it to connect it to your email and then build something using that, you can do that. And based on the task that you're doing, you can pick the best model for the job. And when you do so, you don't lose any of your context, you don't lose any of your history, and you can keep working on the same projects. So essentially, you use this agent harness called Anton that is essentially like the body that actually decides what you use these AI tools for. And what you can do with it is just give it a description of what you want. It goes and does the work and comes back to you with something that is actually finished. So you can either get started from their website at mindshub.ai, or you can also go directly to their GitHub where they've got 39,500 stars and fork it from there using this command that I've got on the screen. I've just downloaded this from the website, and with that you get access to the Mindshub Cowork desktop application, which is where everything is going to be running. And here is what you're going to see. So here we've got some projects, and to get started, you're just going to click on new project over here. And for these purposes, I'm just going to start with something simple, which is a news feed application for software developers. So I'm going to call this software news feed. And the idea is that I want to build like an app where you can get a news feed of any news relevant to the software development job market. And the cool thing with Anton or Mindshub is that I don't have to use a ton of prompt engineering. I can just describe it exactly what I want, and behind the scenes Anton is going to understand it and then actually call Python code to build this into reality. And this is the very simple prompt that I've given it. Build me a newsfeed application of news related to software development job market. And if I want to, I could go in here and attach files or photos or connect this to different application, but this is not relevant here. I'm going to show that later, and I'm going to set it to work. And while it's working, I'm going to show you the cool part, which is actually how you can customize this. So if you go over here on settings, this is where you can choose your model. So we can separate the planning model we want to use, which is used for reasoning, orchestration, and responses, and then the coding model that is actually used for the Scratchpad code generation. And Scratchpad is essentially the process that Anton or the agent harness is using to generate the end result that we're trying to create. So here we can choose between all these different models. We've got GPT, Haiku, Mindshub Air, Gemini Flash, etc. We've got Sonnet here for the planning model, and I'm actually going to change this over to Gemini because that is usually what I find to be best for that. And then for the coding model, we're going to keep Sonnet, and you can even choose the reasoning level. And what's also important about this is that a lot of the time, if you're using something like Claude, you are going to run out of tokens very, very quickly with these frontier models. So it's much more efficient that for lower level tasks that you perhaps don't need to be using the absolute best model for, you can use something cheaper like DeepSeek, which is an open source model. And then for the very heavy tasks where it really matters to have the best models, then you switch to something like Sonnet on it, that is going to be more expensive. We're going to keep the reasoning level at high just for this, but I keep changing this all the time from here. And then you can also add any LLM providers that you want directly from here. And what you can also change is the agent harness. So the way I like to think about it is that the AI model that you use is like the brain, where different models are trained in different ways. They know how to do different things. Where the agent harness is actually the body. So this is the part that actually has the tools to do different things, to actually hand you a real product, to actually call different tools, to actually access the internet and things like this. And for now, we've got two choices. We've got Anton, which is the default one when you actually want to build something, but we've also got Hermes, which is more when you want to connect a lot of different tools together, but there are more coming that you're going to be able to connect. And then you can also change a lot of settings about the memory use and how Anton updates his memory, whether you want to save conversation history and things like that. And then you can here obviously change different settings like the appearance. You can connect this to Slack or Discord, so you can also talk to it from there, and there's a lot of different settings that you can play around with. And while it's working, we can click here on the thought process to see what it's actually doing. And if we click, for example, on here, you can see what it's doing based on text, or you can even see the actual Python code that it is running in the background. So I really like this because it actually gives a lot of transparency. Another thing I don't like about a lot of tools is that they are very opaque. You don't really know what's happening behind the scenes, and you're kind of left at the mercy of the tools. Whereas with Mindshub, it's completely open. You can see exactly what it's doing. And here we can see that it has actually come back. And what's not important is what it has told me, because this is not just giving us text, it is giving us an actual ready product that I can share and view. So here we have our software job market newsfeed, where it has loaded up for me different news articles that are relevant for the software development job market. Over here we can see different stories, and if you want to read it, we can just click on it and it's gonna go ahead and open it, and it looks like it's using Google News, so it has access to the internet. You can go and use different tools, and over here as well we can sort this by categories. So for example, hiring and jobs, layoffs and cuts, AI and career impact, things like that. So this is pretty cool. So as we can see, it has come back to us with a fully finished product that we can now go and publish. As we can see now, our application is live. I can share the link and open it in the browser. And in fact, I will leave the link to this application down below if you want to check it out. You can obviously build a lot more complicated things with this as well. For example, what you can do is you can go out here and connect Anton to different tools. You can connect it to Gmail, to Google Drive, to Notion, to Slack, whatever you want. You can build skills for it. So there are some skills that it has by default: documents, Google Slides, PDF, Gmail, but you can also create your own using Code Word. You can upload them, make this essentially your own AI orchestration tool where you can house all the different projects. I've already been building a bunch of things with this, and why this really matters for me is that this feels like something that I can actually control, because what's been worrying about me with AI in general is that while the internet was built to be super open, anyone can build there, different browsers, servers, protocols, you can choose the tools that you use, no one single entity controls it. AI has kind of been moving in an opposite direction with closed models, proprietary memory, opaque agents, and single vendor lock-in. It makes it extremely risky for you if you let a single company control your entire workflow or your projects, the price that you pay. So with this, you can get more control. It's open source. You can change the agent harness. You can change the model. Your data is yours. Your stack is yours, and it's always portable. And in fact, Mindshub is built by MindsDB, which is an American company that has been building open source AI infrastructure for more than 7 years. Because to me, AI should be something that you own, not just something that you rent. So that is the tool, pretty simple to use. You can download it down below in the description. Again, it's completely open source. Thank you for Mindshub for sponsoring this video. Let me know what you think, and with that, I will see you in the next video.